the Chery J2, powered by a 1.5 litre engine, putting out 72 kilowatts and 140 newton meters of torque. So it's in the B segment and very much fitting into the ballpark of B segment hatchbacks that are available on the South African market. You can see this is the slightly upmarket version of the J2 with the name Swag, which is very much prominent on the car. Very nice mag wheels as well, which are included in the car and given to you as well in the price, which we'll talk about in a few moments. Nice little B segment car at approximately 240 litres of boot space, nice and deep, which I think is an important feature on any hatchback that you're wanting to use for family purposes. So yes, useful to have that as well. And just very neat touches, very neat lines. Spare wheel under the boot floor, as is pretty much standard these days. Behind the wheel of the Chery J2, you've got your basic steering wheel without any multifunction controls on it, which is actually quite nice for a change, and getting back to basics feel almost. Your instrumentation in front of you, you've got your 4 gauges, you do have your center display over here, which gives you your mileage and does give you fuel consumption while you're driving along as well. On the Swag version in particular, there are lots of extras that come into the car and I think are very interesting. You have your electric windows on all 4 windows on the driver's door over here, very neat, and your locking over there, so those are all over there for you and very easy to operate. You come across to the center, and this is where of course Chery have certainly come up with the value function and the value factor of this car. You can see over here you have your infotainment screen, which is nice and prominent, nice and large over here, and does work on a touchscreen basis, just simply to change radio stations. And then something at this price point that I think is absolutely amazing is you have navigation. And again, a system that works very nicely, works very efficiently. So you have your full navigation system that comes up over here on your screen, and of course it's all touchscreen operated and touchscreen functions. Nice and easy to use. You can go back here to your standard menu, and that gives you your various options over here as well. Bluetooth as a standard. Something I did find a bit odd is over here, you can see it says USB and SD, but when you open this little flap, there is actually no standard USB port, and it does not take a normal USB stick. A little bit of an oddity on the car, but again, allowable. You come down, you can see, yes, it's a plastic center console, but it's not pretending to be anything else. It is very neat, very functional, and you do have your full air conditioning system as well. Again, very efficient, works very nicely, and nice big vents in the center over here. On a car in this price range, of course, important features. You have driver's and passenger airbag, which I think is a good feature, on a very neat dash over there. 5-speed manual gearbox, very light, very easy to operate, a very light car overall, and I think that again makes it nice and easy to drive and very useful and functional. Also, something on the Swag version, of course, is the fact that you get full leather trim. Just take a look in the back seat. Getting into the back seat of the Chery J2, and this being the Swag version, again you can see the full leather trim on the seats. Nice and airy and spacious, and lots of headroom. Very adequate legroom as well for a B segment hatchback, a smaller car. So it's certainly got all the functionality that you can want, plus a lot of features that I think are so special and so extra at the price point, which I haven't mentioned deliberately because I want to stress the price of this car is 159,995, 160,000 rand. In the context of cars in the South African market, this certainly is a really good buy at the price, with all the standard features that it has. It even includes a 2-year 30,000 kilometer service plan. Having said all of that, what's it like on the road? Well, I've driven it for a week. We took it on some dirt roads, and it was very, very stable, very steady on the dirt. It certainly handled it very, very well. Where it possibly does fall down very slightly is on performance. But then again, you're not buying the car for performance. You put it on the freeway, it'll hold 120 kilometers on the level, but when you come to even a slight hill, you'll find you need to shift down to 4th gear. It's not a hardship because the gear shift is very easy, very light, but to keep up with the flow on a freeway, that is something you will find you will need to do. Beyond that, well, the criticisms of Chinese cars in the past, maybe it's not quite as solid as some of the cars that you have experienced in the past, but there is certainly, in my book, absolutely nothing lacking on this car. Overall, you're looking at the price point at the 160,000 price point. There are lots of competitors in this market, absolutely, in the B segment hatchbacks, but for this money, you are not going to get a lot of the features that the J2 Swag from Chery offers you.